Well, Target continues to assess the damage from the credit card breach that happened at its stores back in December. The initial number of customers affected has almost doubled to 70 million.
Wow, so you're probably wondering, like many of us are, what you can do to protect yourself from becoming a victim. We've got security consultant Caleb Charles to join us right now with some advice. Now, you've written an article on a website called SecurityOrb.com about this issue, about the Target breach. What did you find out in your research about this issue?
In the research, we found that while the investigation was going from the initial 40 million cards that was reported, Target was able to find out that an additional 70 million records were also taken as part of a second breach. With the 70 million records that were taken, this included personal information such as names, addresses, telephone numbers, as well as email addresses. And that kind of information can lead to identity theft, as well as some targeted attacks that we're keeping an eye on right now.
Now, just over the weekend, I actually had a different credit card, I guess as a preemptive strike, decided to give me a new card, new number. Is this something we're seeing in different places now? Yes, there are some card holders that are taking the initiative, not waiting for the customer to go and report that they did shop at Target during November 27th and December 15th. And if they are able to identify that a transaction happened during that time, they're taking the initiative and sending out new cards to individuals.
Now, there's a lot of talk about exactly what happened here, whether there was actually software installed, and then that's the way the folks were able to get this information. Was it an inside job? What are your thoughts on this?
My thought is that all indications point to it being an inside job, but we can't take out the fact that it might have been someone tricked using some sort of phishing attack or a social engineering attack, mainly telling the customer, the engineer at that facility to hit the link, or calling them up on the telephone and stating that we need you to install a particular software. But all indications, when we saw the initial breach, it does seem like an inside attack, such as the one that happened with the TJ Maxx a few years back.
Now, in your article, you wrote about some other attacks in addition to Target. There's TJ Maxx, Adobe, Sony. How common are these at this point?
These are very common. The problem is many of the vendors are not disclosing the information in fear of hurting their brand. But additional information also came out that Neiman Marcus was also breached recently, as well as 3 other stores who are currently not disclosing that information right now.
What can people do besides just walking around and paying in cash everywhere?
The first thing is to definitely keep track of your credit card statements, constantly monitor them. Be sure to understand the kind of information that you're given to these vendors. Many times they ask you for email address, phone numbers where it may not be necessary. And if you did shop between that time, and unlike you didn't get a new card, definitely canceling that card and getting a new card is very important. And lastly, credit monitoring services are working very well lately. So we ask that you go ahead and investigate some of these reputable credit monitoring services.
And I understand also, I myself have been a victim of ID theft in the past, and one of the things that happens is less about the security of the one particular card that's stolen, more that they have your information, they can open up accounts in the future. So that's one of the other things that you need to be aware of.
Exactly. And one of the main things also with the information such as your email address and your mailing address, be aware of things coming to the house where they might try to trick you into giving additional information. So if you do get an email address, a phone call, or something in the mail, be sure to go to the source and call your bank, or even go to Target's website to be sure that it's authentic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Valuable and useful information, especially at this time. You can check out Caleb's article and get more tips by logging on to SecurityOrb.com.